You won't believe it. This is a super exciting one for me. Y'all requested that you wanted to hear about Nathaniel Rateliff, and I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to tell you all about my experience. Here we go. Madison Square Garden has been many things to me over the years. I saw Tenacious D front row there, watched on TV the post 9/11 concert. It is and continues to be the epicenter of Phish's New Year's and New Year's Eve theatrics, basketball games. It's a visual moniker, but more than anything, MSG has always represented greatness to me. It's a gathering of creatives, a gathering of great ideas, and it's a great display of human resilience, and most importantly to me, joy. And so we chase that. And yet for all that weight in history, nothing, not any of those memories, none of the things that I've done there or been around there for prepared me for what I saw on November 24th, which was the Soulshine benefit concert on television. That concert brought together some of the greats, musicians, creators, voices, with one goal, which was raising money for hurricane victims, the devastating storms. And, I'm just going to say it, government neglect. It's really irrefutable. The government looked the other way. This administration looked the other way, but the artists didn't. And we worked together to try to help. Over the years, I've played with many different bands. I've always been fascinated by what I like to call revival style Southern church music. And I used to play in a band called Jet Black Jane, and there was a song or two where I always said, we need to have this revival kind of sound. It's the type of thing that you might hear in a Mississippi Southern Baptist congregation, that upbeat pop, pop, pop kind of thing, right? But as a white agnostic kid from Connecticut, I was far removed from that world. Still, I've always wanted to feel the type of joy that comes from it, whether it's secular or non-secular, and it comes from the inside. And I want to play inside of that, just like I would imagine any other musician would want to as well. So the Soulshine show pulled me in right as Nathaniel Rateliff and Mavis Staples took the stage to perform the duo Friendship, which is a Jay Blackfoot cover. And like a fish on a line, I was hooked. There was no way I was getting out. I was locked into the show from the beginning to the end, and the closer of his set was a song called S.O.B. That's a song about drinking and not being able to put the drink down, but it's that same gospel style up-tempo tune. And that was it. That was the song I'd been waiting my whole life to hear. It was lyrically raw, secular, vulnerable, unapologetic, but it still maintained the joy that I crave in music. I'm not here to rehash the cliche drinking and drug narrative. That's not my shtick, right? This isn't the dirt. I'm not looking for low-hanging fruit or clickbait. But what is worth saying is this. The way Rateliff delivers those lyrics, the devil may care, honest, broken, but right here, is the kind of thing that makes you want to stand up as a group together in the room and move together saying, yeah, we're right there with you. I feel like we could use more of that in the world right now. Anyway, as I started digging into the band's catalog, the old musician's dilemma hit me. Man, the albums aren't all the same. And I want to hear more of S.O.B., but also like, hey, Voice of Reason, knock it off, dude. You make music for yourself. Artists should do the same thing. The whole sophomore slump, this, that. The catalog's all over the place. But it's all good. Rateliff, who's just a year older than me, was born in the St. Louis area, which is a city I've visited many times, but not one I can relate to. It's just very different from where I grew up. He grew up playing in church bands, released a lot of somber, melancholic music, and was reportedly close to quitting before S.O.B. hit. That self-titled 2015 album, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, was released on Stax Records. Don't even get me started about the brilliance of Stax. I feel like I don't have to tell you that if you're reading or listening. But that blew up. It went viral on the internet. Everything changed. So while I may have just discovered him in 24, for him that moment came over a decade ago. And so I wanted more of that energy, but for Rateliff, it might have been a little bit different, right? But still, as any musician does, I dove in to the wormhole. Everything I found was good. The melodies, the vibe, the gospel feel, the craft. But most important, then I hit South of Here, which is his newest record. And that album, that was the masterpiece I didn't know I was waiting for. One listen to the song, Remember I Was a Dancer, transported me to those summers on the lawn at the Meadows Music Theater in Hartford, Connecticut, watching Paul Simon, people dancing in the flowery dresses, like one collective of movement, in sync with the joy of the moment. It was unrestricted. It was a collective musical euphoria. And once again, the lyrics, painful, honest, brutal, but still joyful. one of the lyrics that really hits me in the feels is, "Say baby, I think we'll make it up as we go." And he's talking about, remember, I used to be a dancer. Remember, it used to be like this. Remember, before things got weird, I was this and I was that, and I feel that, and I feel like a lot of older dads can sort of look back on their glory days. We try not to talk about them too much because it becomes very quick and clear joke fodder. But it hit me in the feels anyway. So now take all that and imagine being on the road for 3 to 4 months straight, stuck in a moving box, a tour bus, making surface level connections with people at best. Then you come home for 2 months and are expected to instantly return to normal life. Yeah, good luck with that. Aligning with social norms and standards and not feeling like you need to do the things that you normally do in your touring routine. And this is why people have issues. But we're not going to go down that wormhole. So yes, of course, the album speaks to mental illness and substance abuse, loneliness, and despair. But unlike so many others before him, the thing is that Rateliff delivers it all with joy. He infuses the music with light, even when the lyrics live in the dark. My wife, who rarely comments on the constant flood of music in our home, said something that hit me straight in the chest. Trav, I feel like he does everything right. And I agreed. I didn't have any reason to agree. I didn't have any tangible reason to agree, I should say. I just knew she was right. And every song on South of Here is a masterpiece. It's been in constant rotation for me ever since I heard it. And now there's just really one question left. And that's like, how? How the hell does he do this? It's amazing. And so as you can imagine, the listening continues. If I'm listening to him closely, headphones, etc., leave me alone and get off my lawn.